Hello and welcome into the newest episode of Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and as evident by the news today with the New England Patriots, life moves fast in the NFL. We find out some very interesting details about Stefon Diggs' new contract. We find out if Josh McDaniels' offense is going to look similar to what we're used to in New England, and is there a pick starting to shine through for the Patriots at number 4 in the upcoming NFL draft. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down and subscribe for our channel. Get in the comments and let us know what you think of the Joe Milton trade, as well as the other revolving pieces around the Patriots before we get into draft season. Make sure you give us a like if you like what you hear, and go back and check out our other episodes once you finish up today's. Again, we start with that big deal that the Patriots decided to swing. We talked about it just yesterday that they had been receiving calls for the 6th-round draft pick out of Tennessee last year, who acquitted himself quite well in just his first season in the pros. Again, there were a lot of questions about Joe Milton coming out of the draft. Was he just a star athlete? Could he be a quarterback? Again, all it took was one win versus the backups from Buffalo for another team, and there were several that came out and were interested in acquiring Joe Milton to add to their roster. And with the addition for the Patriots of Josh Dobbs, who clearly now is going to be that number 2 overall quarterback, it made Joe Milton expendable. The reason why I'm saying that the Patriots did not get enough for Joe Milton is because of the value put on quarterbacks in this league. And seeing that you had one that could go out and win a football game, to me, means that's worth more than what the Patriots reportedly got. Now, as of this post time, or as of this film time, the Patriots had not officially released terms. It is being reported that they have sent Joe Milton and a 7th-round pick number 217, to the Dallas Cowboys for a 5th-round pick number 171. So essentially, you just move up in the NFL draft to take Joe Milton off of this team. To me, that is not enough. Yesterday, I had said, you'd be waiting for that 3rd-round pick and deciding if that was, the move that your team wanted to make. And if someone came in with the Godfather offer of a 2nd-round pick, you absolutely would have to do that. So essentially, being 3 rounds back of where you were, to me, means you did not get enough in this deal. Jordan Schultz is reporting that the Raiders, the Eagles, the Giants, the Steelers, and the Cowboys were all interested in Joe Milton. Additionally, he is reporting that the Patriots did not accept the best offer given to them, which this would now mark the 2nd straight time that the Patriots have not done this in a major trade. Reportedly, they did not do the same for Matthew Judon, where they could have gotten potentially more than the 3rd-round pick that they received by sending him to the Atlanta Falcons, as that was the destination he wanted to go. Joe Milton reportedly wanted to go to the Dallas Cowboys. Patriots acquiesced and sent him there. There's no report on what the better deal was, if it was just a couple more picks up, if it was a full round or not. Either way, it's not what you want to hear about a front office doing. And again, there is something to be said about doing right by the players and doing the stewardship thing in the NFL. But this is business, and you have to make sure that you are gaining assets for those that you have in place, especially when it comes to the NFL draft. Again, with Drake May in place, this becomes less of a big deal for the Patriots, but more so that the front office has potentially left potential assets on the table in a deal for a guy that eventually could help another team win football games. Additionally, some surprising revelations around the Stefon Diggs contract. Again, we had talked about how this really could just be a 1-year, $26 million deal, as opposed to the 3-year, $69 million signing that it is being stated as. Additionally, it looks like the Patriots can actually get out of the whole thing entirely should Stefon Diggs not be recovered enough to play for when his contract does take effect. Going through this verbatim, the contract contains a waiver regarding his right knee. Expressly does not apply to any NFL-related injury sustained by a player while performing services under that contract that, in the sole opinion of the club's physician, which shall be final and binding in any way related to deterioration, aggravation, or re-injury to the pre-existing injury to the right knee. A lot there, but a lot said. Also, the Patriots have the sole ability to terminate the contract due to the pre-existing injury unless and until Diggs passes a physical. That is the big piece. Now, again, what we've seen from him is training like a madman, looking ready to get back out there. But again, if he's Patriots get to training camp time and say, here's time for your physical, and he can't pass that, there is a chance that they could pull out of it. Again, I do not think that they should do that. I think they should absolutely give him time if he needs to go on the IR and start there for the first 4 months, or 4 weeks, I should say. That's what they should do. But they can keep this back pocket if something does flare up and goes wrong. Essentially, reiterating, that means Diggs needs to pass that physical, and the Patriots aren't on the hook for the guaranteed money. Likewise, means that if he re-tears the ACL or has any other aggravation or re-injury to that right knee, they again owe him nothing. Again, a big deal at the time, just from a money-wise, for a 31-year-old receiver coming off of an injury. But again, protections put in place for the Patriots. So while we might question what they did with the Joe Milton deal, this Stefon Diggs deal continues to be something that was truly impressively put together by the Patriots front office, and another smart deal put forth by that brain trust. Again, we'll look over at that brain trust, which decided to bring back Josh McDaniels. Obviously, his head coaching tenure had not seen the success that he had hoped for, as he left the Patriots twice, now come back twice. But this will look very much different in this go around, and not just to say that, it's the second go was with Mac Jones. Tom Brady's not walking through that door, but Drake May opens a lot of doors for McDaniels and potentially can do a lot of different things in his new offensive scheme. Now, while he has not been able to have any opportunity to coach up or talk ball with Drake May because of the offseason that will be coming up soon, and he spoke very highly about Drake May, is excited to get him into the fold and see how he can add new wrinkles into his offense. The other wrinkle that Josh McDaniels will have to face is that he will be operating an offense that has a lot of assistants that are unfamiliar with what he likes to do. That said, the offense boasts a ton of experience. Obviously, Doug Marrone, the former Jaguars and Bills head coach, now coaching up the offensive line. Todd Downing, coming over from the Jets, the former offense coordinator, now heading up the wide receivers, who in turn has again spoke very highly of the wide receivers in the fold, Stefon Diggs included, as well as Javon Baker and Jalen Polk, who did not have good first years. This is now the time where a lot of these coaches are going to say positive things about everybody. Keep your ear out should you hear the negative side. Additionally, Thomas Brown, who was the interim head coach for the Bears last season, as well as an offensive coordinator, heading up this team on the tight end side. Again, there is a lot of weapons for Mike McDaniel, not just from the offensive player side, but from an offensive coach's side. So while don't expect to see the full gamut of Josh McDaniel's play calling, expect to see a lot of different things with a lot of wrinkles within them and playing up to player strength as always. We'll end today looking at the NFL draft, and while the Patriots did not really receive good news from Adam Schefter's reporting yesterday, with both the Cleveland Browns and New York Giants potentially out on quarterbacks in the top 3 in the NFL draft, thus meaning that Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter will be gone at that point, the New England Patriots will have to move on from the pie-in-the-sky dream of having one of those two fall to number 4. That leaves them with who's the pick. And I think a lot of people will say trade down, trade down, trade down, trade down. But the fact that the Patriots now are 20 some odd days away from the NFL draft and they still do not have a left tackle true starter, yes, but Arian Lowe and Hasten Wallace are on the team. However, you do not want to go into the season starting one of them as the blindside protector for Drake May. You would want Will Campbell. And it seemingly is being affirmed by more and more of the comments that are coming out. Thus, more from Doug Marrone, who was asked about tackle arm length, and that's the one knock against Will Campbell is his short arms. And is he better as a guard? But all he has done is succeed at an SEC level, exceed at a high level. Marrone was quoted as saying, "I always look at it as, do you play that way or do you play longer? Do you play the max of what you have or do you play under what you have?" I've had guys in the past that have played from me that have had 33 to 34 inches and haven't played like that. I've had guys that have had some shorter arms and have played like they have longer arms. Again, playing into that, even if his arms are 32 inches and not 33, and what are you really giving up in an inch? Does that really matter? Doug Marrone also reiterated that he recruited Will Campbell. He also recruited Kelvin Banks, who will be a first round, Josh Connerly, who will be a first or second rounder, and other top offensive prospects in this draft when he was an assistant at Alabama. So he has a lot of familiarity, and whether it is not Will Campbell or one of these other guys, the Patriots absolutely will add a tackle in this draft. And do not be surprised if Will Campbell is that guy when all is said and done that is going to be the best fit for the New England Patriots for this NFL draft. For me, again, I think, yes, the opportunity to trade down and continue to add assets is going to be a priority for this team. It is very clear that Mike Vrabel is going to restack this deck, and he is not afraid to move on from players. The majority of the captains from last year are gone. An exciting young player now in Joe Milton is gone. If he is not convinced that this player is an absolute fit or is absolutely bought into the scheme and the system or the culture that he is building, he is ready to move on from those players, personnel, staffers, etc. This is a whole new Patriots ball game. This starts with the quarterback room. This starts with the offense, the defense, and now the NFL draft as well. Do not be surprised if we are sitting back here in early May saying we did not see this coming, because Mike Vrabel likely has an ace up his sleeve at one point and will go out and do something we weren't expecting because he sees a culture fit that is going to hopefully pay dividends in the long run for the New England Patriots. At the end of it, he has said that things are won in the trenches. Will Campbell would be a guy that wins in the trenches, and if the Patriots are not able to trade back at that number 4 spot, do not be surprised to hear Will Campbell's name be ran up to that podium for the NFL draft. That'll do it for us on this episodes of Past Latest. Again, make sure you go down and subscribe for our channel, get in the comments, and let us know what you think of the Joe Milton deal. Should the Patriots have gotten more? And if the Pats should be leery of what is going to happen with the Stefon Diggs deal, in addition to who the top picks for the NFL draft should be. After that, go back and check out our old episodes, and we'll make sure to keep bringing you everything for the New England Patriots. Fight on, Foxborough.